I think that was great. I've been waiting for someone to explain to me what happened. I agree with the senator. I think that was a great kind of wrap up. You know, up until the Thursday before, I think that there were a lot of agreements made that we thought we were going to come back to the Capitol and just finish the week up and get out. I think we were in a great place. Hissy fit. It was a good one for it. Like, none of us just knew what happened. And again, I think last year the governor let 8 or 9 bills go without a signature, signed 400 and some bills, and then this year, he didn't even take part in the process. And so, and again, you think a lot of these bills might have been, I can see if they were, 53 to 40 or something, there might be some argument there, but there were a lot of bills vetoed that went, 87-1 or something. It was a wild deal. At one point, just to keep it short, I just throw this in on top of that. At one point, a little after midnight, on the floor of the House, I sit with the floor leader there on the floor. I leaned over and I said, "Mr. Floor Leader, I think we've done enough historic stuff for one day." And he looked at me like this. That was kind of towards the end. So anyway, keep it short. That's all I'll say.
So you're saying you're responsible for us getting out there when we did? Thank you, Representative Stitt. He's a powerful man. Powerful. I think it's been summarized pretty well. I would agree with Senator Daniels. I thought the session just went extremely well. We've had problems I've witnessed from the outside looking in on our budget negotiations in the 2 years prior to this that I was there. Our budget team worked extremely well with the Senate budget team, and while we had disagreements, there was no one stomping out of meetings, no one was, walking out. We sat there and we hashed it out, and by the time we got to meet later in the budget process, we got to meet with the governor's team. We had a full agreement with the Senate, which was really, really helpful. When you get into a room and you're trying to negotiate 3 ways, I could see how complicated that could get. Well, by the time we got there, the legislature was all one voice. Once the governor figured that out, and he didn't have the opportunity to play a Senate position against a House position, we got down to seriously negotiating with the governor. The governor had some great ideas. The governor was a big part of our budget negotiations. He was instrumental in putting together what I think, I'm really proud of the product of our final budget. Nobody likes it all. Certainly I changed things. But it was a great budget overall, and I was proud to vote for it. I'm proud that I had a part in putting it together. So all that, we're going great. Now at the end of this budget negotiation, in a small room, I'm up there on the Senate side, I don't know if I can get back there. It's complicated. Lots of stairs. But anyway, so right at the end, he looks at it. He had pushed us hard, and we pushed him hard, and I just wasn't sure if there was any more bend in anybody. And I thought the governor showed great wisdom. He looked and he said, "I'm okay with where we are." Everybody just sighed, not like that. Everybody's staring, and so immediately you go to put it down in writing so everybody remembers what we said and everybody signs off on the agreement. But his last thing he said was, "Plus, I don't want you to override any of my vetoes." Well, then everybody looked at him real sharp, and we just stared and said, "Governor," and then before we even had a chance to argue, he goes, "Well, okay, that may be asking too much." I said, "Yeah, that really is. That is asking a little too much." But he said, "How about if you will have an honest conversation with me about anything you decide that you would like to override?" Well, that seems very fair. I mean, he has the ability to veto, and we have the ability to override, and so sometimes that's going to happen. So we agreed to that. Carried forward. We had some agreement. He even encouraged us to override some, but then you all know what happened after that. And I think that we would have overridden without any of his actions. We probably would have overridden 15 or 20 bills. And as it turned out, we overrode 47. Sorry the way it ended. But I've had a good text exchange with the governor since then. He said that he actually did apologize for he said he didn't say hissy fit. He said his temper And I hope we have another year to work with you. And my goal was to have another year like we had this year. And I don't want the damage done in the last 12 hours of us being down there to affect how we govern the next year. That's my goal. So I texted him, and he said he'd call me, and yet I'm waiting by the phone. And hopefully it'll go, because really, truly, I thought our session was good, and I was proud of what we did.
Since you have the microphone and kind of mentioned the budget, it was pretty much a flat budget, standstill budget, but give us some of the highlights that people want.